from the standpoint, they tell you anything. They tell you, let's take a look at your bill. This is where we're going to lower your costs, and it sounds like it makes sense. And then they lock you into a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year agreement, whatever the case might be. And then when your bills come, it takes you 2 or 3 months, because it's very complicated to look at a merchant services bill for most business owners. And it takes 2 or 3 months for you to realize as a business owner that all that happened is they saved you money in one area of the invoice and put it into a different area of the invoice and probably charged you more than you were being charged before. So it gets very frustrating, but you're locked into contract. There's not much you can do. The salesperson has moved on, and now you're in the hands of a company that the best thing they know how to do is hold on to you and not let you out of your contract. So if you would like to give me a call as your talk show host, again, I'm Kurt Wilhelm, host of The Social Universe on Voice America, and give me a call, and I will personally be able to refer you to these merchant services providers that will, first of all, give a very small portion of the profits that they receive. I should say a substantial portion, but not so small that you can't have any profits, okay, to a charity, so that you can have in your PR that you're donating to charity. At the same time, they will save you money, and their guarantee that they're saving you money is they will not put you into anything but a month-to-month agreement. So at the end of each month, when you look at your bill, if they're not saving you as much as you were hoping, then they don't keep you as a client, and they know that. But that means they're going to educate you all the different ways that when the other minions of merchant services providers come in and try to sell you merchant services, that they're going to say, well, looky here, we're going to save you this amount of money, and then you'll be very educated, and you're going to say, yeah, but what about these other budget lines over here, where are you just going to move it from line A to line Z? So these are all very important things for you to know about merchant services. So now you save even more money. Now, the reason it's important for you to save money is that sometimes when we, in our effort to save money, we're not increasing technology and reducing costs. We're actually lowering technology. We're cutting into the bone is what we call that. And so we start cutting costs in areas that we actually do need. And here's an area where very often people cut where they shouldn't be cutting, and that's in the area of managed services and IT. Managed services and IT, for any of you, I know this is being a very technical show, so we're getting a little bit deep. In the following weeks, we're going to do things that are a little bit more fun that have to do with businesses that are, having the applied use of some of the things that we're talking about. But a good example of what you do with, I'm going to use an analogy here. Your phone system, I'm going to compare it as the backbone of your company. If you don't have your phone system, you can't communicate, and the backbone of any company is being able to communicate. I'm in advertising. I love advertising, but advertising is a little bit more the meat of the body. If you were going to use the analogy of a human body, the backbone is actually your telecommunications. It's how you communicate to the world. So you want to make sure that you have the most technology for the least cost, and that's our recommendation. Definitely Crescendo gets 5 stars out of 5 for the services that they provide, the quality of service they provide, the technology they provide, and at the price that they provide it. So you want to make sure that you're always getting more. The mostest for the leastest. That's a simple way to say it. So you want to always make sure you're getting the mostest for the leastest. One of the areas where you're getting the leastest and not the mostest is when you start cutting technology. And again, a good example of that is managed services. So managed services are a place where you should be utilizing heavily an IT person who can monitor what's going on inside of your server, inside of your computers. Here's a good example. Your employees, you have no idea what they're doing. They could range anywhere from $10 to $200 an hour, depending on the type of employee you have working for you. And if they are on the internet doing and surfing crazy things, then you're having loss of labor cost. And so if you are able to utilize managed services on a higher level and also have them do monitoring of employee computers, then you actually know the activities that your employees are doing. I would advocate being able to do that. I know any of you who are employees are saying, oh my gosh, don't let my boss be listening to this show. But it's because it actually costs money. There's labor cost involved, and that's one of the ways that as Americans we should all be pulling together, is to make sure that we provide jobs by helping the companies become more successful in what they do. And one of the ways we do that is by just doing our job well every minute of every day, and throwing our shoulder behind that business. I'm not saying you've got to work overtime and not get paid for it. I'm just saying make sure that you apply yourself while you're there. And that's one of the ways that managed services can actually help you get more for less. And managed services don't cost that much. They can be, you know, anywhere from $100 to $200 a month. And that's easily counteracted by the merchant services savings or the savings on the telecom. So these things all work very, very well together. And then I can almost guarantee you, by the time we do all of this, there's enough money that would be left over to be able to advertise. And so that's the segue of what we're going to talk about in our next two segments, is the advertising, what you can do with advertising dollars holistically. Obviously, we're going to want you to spend it on the radio. We're going to want you to spend it in search engine optimization, online advertising, and social media. That's who we are. But we also are going to talk about advertising from a holistic level. So don't go away as we go on break. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about how to utilize the money that you save in the areas of merchant services, in the areas of telecom, and in the areas of IT and managed services, how you can apply those into marketing. So don't go away, and we'll tune in back with you right after the break.